Hey there, welcome to BatchTV. My name's Landree, and in this video, we're going to be going into list stacking within BatchLeads and just how easy it is. Also, a few tips on getting organized. If you haven't thus far and you want to be able to utilize list stacking, this should make it pretty straightforward. Just a quick disclaimer, some of the information in this video may be blurred out for privacy purposes, but you'll be able to see everything in your own account. So we're going to jump into properties within my menu. This is where whether you're importing lists from an outside source into BatchLeads or you're using list search, everything will live here and you can manage your data in this section. So at the bottom of my screen, you can see I have over 68,000 properties saved in my database, and I wanted list stack to find property owners on multiple lists. So when I'm saving lists into BatchLeads, I always make sure that they're in separate categories. Like when I pull a pre-foreclosure list, that goes into a pre-foreclosure list. Maybe I search in the same area for vacant properties. Later, I do something for tax defaults or absentee owners. I want to make sure that I have different and separate lists so that I can stack them together. This won't work if you just have one piled together list. So I will show that tip on how to get things organized if that's what you've been kind of doing up to this point. So let's jump into it. List stacking is something you can do within seconds as long as you have those separated lists. It happens with filter at the top of the screen. And the main ones for list and tag counting, just depending on how you have your data saved, will be here. So these blue bars, you'll be able to move these. So to give you an idea before we adjust these and see what properties come up in multiple categories or on multiple lists, just meaning that they're going to be overall way more motivated as well. Somebody I really want to market to, just to kind of dive into that. But my lists are like my main filing cabinets, my master filing cabinets, my master categories, and my tags are like the file folders. So they have the market I pulled the list from, additional information that's important to me, and the date I pulled the list as well. So it helps me stay very organized, knowing exactly what's happening with those properties that I added to my database. So I've also seen where sometimes people will have their tags be more of the broad topics and their lists are more detailed, and that's totally fine. That will just determine which bar you're going to kind of change here. For me, it makes most sense for me to use the list count bar because my lists are more broad. They're more separated categories rather than just little notes that I've made in my tags. So completely up to you. Take a look at your account, see what's fitting. But when I go to move that bar, I'm going to be telling the system I want to find properties on X amount of lists at least that are on, multiple of these that I have saved that I've done within my account already. So pre-foreclosures, cash buyers are in here, liens, vacant, mobile homes, bankruptcy, and so on. So a lot of different things I have. The more properties in your account that you have and more separated lists and tags, the better. So I'm going to move this list count bar up to, let's say 3. We'll start there. And once again, it will tell the system I only want to see property addresses populate after filtering that are on 3 or more at very least. So click apply filter. You can move the tag count too, just depending on how you have your address is saved. And let's see what we get. So instead of dealing with 68,000 properties and not knowing where to start and not knowing who to market to, I now can deal with these 613 properties that are on 3 or more lists. So if you move this blue bar at the bottom of this screen over to the right, you'll have a better view of this. But the list and tag count will be right in this section where I can see exactly how many lists and tags. There's also these little arrows that you can kind of flip the list to see who's on the most amount and who's on the least. So try that out and see what you kind of get popping up on your page. I'm going to leave it for now, but we're going to look at this first one that is on 5 lists within my database. So let's check this out. Click on the address to open the details to get a deeper dive. And we're going to go over to lists and tags. So super simple. All you do is go to your filters, move that list or tag count bar and, to your preference, and then look at the addresses that get pulled up. Go to lists and tags, and there they are. So it will tell you the dates of when you saved this address to what list. This is on my vacant list, tax defaults, absentee owners, tired landlords, and expired listings. So just to give you that idea, it's so much more beneficial to be reaching out to property owners that have these multiple points of pain rather than just on one list, maybe that everybody else pulled as well. So really, really awesome tool, super easy to do when you have things separated in your account is the key here. So I'll show you a tip for that. What you can do after you've list stacked and you're ready to start doing something with these properties, you can select them and do bulk action. So let's go out of this. Say I'm happy with this, list of 613 addresses. I'm just going to go up to select properties in the top left-hand corner, where you can select all of these, a custom amount or whatever is visible on this first page. We're going to do all of them. Click actions, and you can do lots of things like export it to an Excel spreadsheet. You can skip trace these to get their phone numbers and email addresses. You can push it over to an SMS campaign, direct mail, push it to Batch Dialer if you have an account with them, and so much more. So definitely take a look at that, see how you have things organized in your account, and try to start list stacking. So a quick tip for if you're trying to get into organizing things a lot more within BatchLeads is you can use your deeper filters first, and then you can use your quick filters across the bottom to help you and start categorizing them, as these are some of the categories I had in my list already. So you could use these to kind of take it a step further and, make it super easy. So now we're going to jump into the little tip about getting organized if you've been in the habit of saving everything to like one list, for example, and how you can kind of backtrack. But that was all list stacking was, super, super simple and quick. But we're going to go to filter now. We're going to move this, and what we're going to now be looking for are things that you can find in your conditional filters. This is a great section to get super nitty gritty and find specifics within your account. Two pieces of data that are super important to me when I'm saving a list and a tag are always, of course, the main category, like the pain point, but our quick filters are going to help us with that after this. But the other two pieces are the city that I added it in and when I added it. So keep that in mind. It's totally up to you on what pieces are important to you. But if you go to the conditional filter, you can choose what you want the system to filter out and pull up for you in your saved properties. So I'm going to find the property city because I have addresses saved in Wisconsin and Texas, Utah, Arizona, all over. So I just want to be pulling up the addresses in Phoenix. So I'm going to type out Phoenix. I'm going to add one more conditional filter here, and I'm going to do the date added. So down here, date added, we're going to click on this calendar and find all of the properties I added in the month of June. So go back to June, click the 1st through the 30th, and there you go. So now I'm viewing, or going to be viewing after I apply the filter, only properties I added in the month of June that are in Phoenix, Arizona. So apply the filter and watch these quick filters change. You'll see these change to reflect and break up what I view when I apply this. So I added 5,100 properties in the month of June in Phoenix, Arizona. Out of those 5,100, it's now breaking those up into these quick filters. And all you have to do is just let these help you, since BatchLeads is going through your data and actually analyzing the changes, and it's always being updated. So this is updated information within your saved data. So all I have to do, let's say that we want to start organizing the 13 vacants I added in June in Phoenix, click on the quick filter, and let's save it to a list and a tag. So all you have to do is select these properties, click actions. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to a list. I think of my list as the main points. So I would name this vacants. Then my tags, I would make note that I added it in Phoenix in June. So kind of getting the picture there. All you have to do is use your quick filters on top of those nitty gritty ones so that you can get to a place so that list stacking only takes you seconds, like I demonstrated earlier. So I'm going to add this. I do have an existing vacant list. You could create a new one right here and type it out. And then same idea. Let's just make note that this is in Phoenix, Arizona, June 2022. And now if you're in the works of getting things separated so that you can list stack, finding those properties in a specific date range, in a specific city works really well, and then using your quick filters on top of that to really categorize those. After everything's been organized in your data, then you can go back to the filters, tell the system the minimum of list something should be on, so you can find the most motivated property owners to start marketing to them. I hope this video was helpful, gave you a little bit more confidence to find property owners that really have problems that need solving that you could reach out to and find super simply within BatchLeads. If you have any questions at all, don't forget to reach out to our support team. Go to our help center to see videos and articles and how-tos. Leave a comment below as well if there's a topic that you'd like us to cover in the future. Subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. See you guys soon.